Keeping nuclear weapons out of the hands of terrorists and countries that sponsor them is one of the goals of President Obama's nuclear summit, which continues in a few minutes with a working dinner at the White House. Correspondent Rich Edson tells us one nation in particular is getting a lot of attention.
This was the focus of world leaders today, containing North Korea, its provocations and threats. At the Nuclear Security Summit in Washington, President Obama met with South Korean President Park and Japanese Prime Minister Abe. Later, a one-on-one meeting with Chinese President Xi.
President Xi and I are both committed to the denuclearization of the Korean Peninsula and full implementation of UN sanctions. So we're going to discuss how we can discourage action like nuclear and missile tests that escalate tensions and violate international obligations.
In January, North Korea conducted its fourth nuclear test. Earlier this month, it continued its recent string of ballistic missile tests, and it has threatened to attack the United States and its allies.
The president's had 7 summits like this, and in the process, North Korea has built 20 nuclear weapons. So, clearly these summits are being very ineffectual in addressing what is one of the world's most dangerous nuclear problems.
The United States and South Korea are discussing the deployment of an American missile defense system on the Korean Peninsula in response to the North Korean missile and nuclear tests. China opposes the missile defense deployment. At the nuclear summit, officials say world leaders will also discuss efforts to prevent terrorist groups like ISIS from seizing nuclear materials. And while the United States and Russia control more than 90% of the world's nuclear stockpile, Russia is skipping the summit.
Russia's lack of participation, obviously, in our view, is frankly counterproductive, given that this is an area where we share an interest. Nobody benefits from a lack or downgrading of collaboration on issues of nuclear security.
The White House says Russia's refusal to participate in this nuclear summit is a political statement and one that's the result of tension over other issues. In Russia's absence, the U.S. and China have announced greater cooperation, promising to meet annually going forward on nuclear security issues. Brett?